Hey fam, welcome back. In this video, I thought we would try a fun challenge today. I wanted to try doing a full face of makeup with all of my little makeup samples. I have an entire box full of makeup samples that have just been sitting here collecting dust, and there's a lot of products in here that I've been wanting to try or that I've never tried, I've been curious about, and I thought this would be a fun idea. Now, this is not an original idea. When I thought of this idea, it was fully just out of desire to use up some of my samples, see if I could create a full face of makeup, and to talk to you guys about some products that I haven't even tried yet. I did look, and it looks like the first one I could find was 3 years ago from Samantha March. So I thought it would be fun to try this challenge today, try getting through some of these samples. So if you were interested in seeing how I came up with this look with all makeup samples, just stay tuned. We're gonna get into it right now. All right, y'all, sorry for this weird angle, but I wasn't sure how else to show you guys this stuff. This is a little Il Makiage box, and inside I have all of these samples. I actually put this box together when I was cleaning out my skincare, and I just kind of threw all my free samples in here. So what I kind of had in mind to do was to try to do a full face of makeup with just what's in this box. For two reasons. One, I want to get through some of this stuff. This is just craziness. And two, there could be some really cool products in here that we could learn more about that I don't have to spend any money for, which is always a great thing. So I'm going to go ahead and sort these out. I'll give you guys an overview of what we have, and we'll see what we have to work with today. So I am starting with a clean face, and the first thing I would do is apply moisturizer. I have a couple options in my little sample box. First one being this IT Confidence in a Cream, which is one of my absolute favorite moisturizers of all time. This is such a great one. I also see this little Lancome. This is the Gel Cream Hydrant Anti-Stress Moisturizing Cream Gel. And I see this one from Drunk Elephant. This is the Be Hydra Intensive Hydration Gel. So what I'll do is I'll start with this little packet, the Confidence in a Cream. Okay, so now that that step is done, I would go in with eye cream. And I think I only have one option for eye cream. And that is this one from Fresh, this Black Tea Age Delay Eye Concentrate. So I'm gonna pull that one, do this cute little packet. And I think that's a decent enough amount for today. Then for the next step in my routine, I would go for brows. I do not have any samples for brows, unfortunately. I contemplated using a black eyeliner, but girl, I still gotta go to the grocery store. And while I have gone to the grocery store in some looks, eyeliner for my eyebrows is not a look. So I'm gonna do some brows. I'm gonna use my Got To Be Glued to sweep my brows up. And then I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brow to fill in my brows, and my Hourglass brow pencil to kind of clean things up. So now my brows are done. I'm just keeping them kind of light and fluffy today. So the next step I would go in with would be primer. And from the primer category, we have the Professional Primer. This seems to be like kind of just like a swatch though. I don't know if there's enough in there to prime my whole face. I have a couple samples of the Hourglass primer. I have one of the Becca primer. And then I have the Bobbi Brown Face Base, which I think I'm probably the most excited about. So let's go in with that one. I've always wanted to try this. So my next step in my makeup routine would be eye primer. And I have the Pure Get a Grip eye primer, and I also have the Urban Decay Potion primer. I think I'm gonna go with the Pure primer because this is just like a little foil packet, whereas this one I feel like I can get several uses out of. And I basically just ripped open the foil packet, and it feels hydrating. It's not like an opaque formula. I don't typically set my eyelids, but I'm going to today because I have this little e.l.f. eye base setter situation that I got basically free with purchase. I figure if we need to, we can also use this for a loose translucent powder, hopefully, just so it's a little bit less tacky. My next step would be to go in and do eyes. And for eyeshadow, I have three choices. They are all Natasha Denona, which is pretty lucky for me because these are really blendable shadows. I have this one that's from the Camel palette. It's the center shade in, looks like it says Zand, Z-A-N-D. I have from the Bronze palette, the shade Silk, which is like a gold shimmer. And then from the Sunrise palette, Sunrise I think, This is a little red shade from the center. I also have from Kristen Lee a little sample of loose pigment. This is the shade Time Loop. So I figured if we felt like getting real creative, you know, maybe pull this guy in too. But I think I'm gonna start with this camel shade. And just with like a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to tap into this guy. And I'm gonna start here in my outer corner. I'm also going to kind of move this in as a transition shade. I think I prefer something that isn't as tacky, but it's still a decent primer. No beef. Now that we have that first shade all over the lid on both sides, I'm going to reach into the bronze palette shade Silk, which looks really beautiful. And using kind of like a flatter brush, I'm just going to pat into this and start spraying this over my lid. Then going back with our original brush with no additional product, I'm just going to go ahead and blend. I also have these little caviar sticks from Laura Mercier. I have the shade Moonlight, the shade Amethyst, and the shade Tuxedo. So what I think I want to try to do is maybe use Tuxedo, but I also want to play with Moonlight. So first I'm going to dip into Tuxedo with my little slanted brush and just drag this towards the outer corner. Now I want to try tapping into Moonlight for like the front part of my lid. I'm just dipping right into the little bubble with my angled brush. And let's see if we can do like the front half of the wing. I'm also going to put a little bit of that shade in my inner corner just to kind of brighten up the eye a little bit. I have to say I was not even checking on these Laura Mercier caviar sticks, but now that I've used this little sample, I honestly might look into them. These are really like easy to blend. And I think they're very impactful on the eyes. I think they're really pretty. And they kick this look up a notch, I think. I like it. Then for my lower waterline, I'm gonna go with this little Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. I got this as a free gift with purchase as well. And I am just going to line my waterline. For mascara, I'm gonna go with my Urban Decay Perversion Mascara Bigger, Blacker, Badder Lashes. I've never used this before. This came free with purchase as well. And that is a chunky little wand. I'm grateful that this mascara is doing some good things. I want to go back under my eyes with that little camel shade, Zand from the Camel palette. And I'm just going to drag this shade with this little smudgy brush under my lower lash line. Then I'm just going to blend this, no extra product, with our original transition brush. And then I want to go back into the Caviar Stick Moonlight, and I want to just like drag that a little closer to the lower lash line. These caviar sticks have been so much fun. So that's the eyes, and like I'll clean up a little bit under my eyes, not too much, because I like it's kind of blown out, but let's go ahead and move on to foundation. I would say foundation is probably our biggest category. I've got a gigantic pack of these. We have the Urban Decay Naked Foundation, Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, but these are both kind of like more swatch packs, so I don't know if that will be enough. We have the Wander Beauty, but again, this is the one I would probably be the most excited to try, and we may still try this one. But there's not a ton of product in there. I also have the YSL All Hours Foundation. I think this is another pack of that. These look to be like a decent size. And then we also have the Vanish from Hourglass and the Natasha Denona Transfer Matte Foundation. So I think I'm actually leaning toward this YSL All Hours one because I feel like there's enough product in here that I can use this for my face. We have Warm Porcelain, Ivy, Warm Caramel, and Sand. So yeah, let's give this a try. And this is what the product looks like. And I think I will try going in with the second shade, B20. And hopefully that's not too much. It's lightly fragrance, but it smells really good. Kind of like a nice like spring scent, like very fresh. And I would say this looks to be like a matte foundation. Or maybe like a natural, like a satin. And then this is what that foundation looks like on my skin. This is the YSL All Hours Foundation. This was B20, I think it said. It was in Warm Porcelain, which my skin isn't typically warm, but of the ones I had, I thought this was like the best matte. We're just going grocery shopping anyway. It definitely has a little bit of a glow, which I like. It's definitely more on the matte side, and I think it's like not the prettiest foundation on my forehead. But I mean, that's definitely an area where I struggle a bit sometimes with foundations. I can definitely sink into my fine lines. It's not too bad though. I definitely feel like it's a little bit more mattifying or a little bit more satiny than what I would like. I typically like something a little bit dewier. But I think this is nice, and I love the way it smells. I love how fresh this is. So for concealer, I only have two options. I have the Pretty Vulgar Undercover Concealer, which I do have. And then I have the Josie Marion Vibrancy Concealer. I have light and medium tan. So let's try the Josie Marion Light Concealer. I've never tried anything from this brand, and I've been very curious about them. Now, there's definitely not a ton of product in here. Thankfully, we shouldn't need too much. That's our color. It's a little yellow, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. So I'm just going to tap this under my eyes, and then let's just kind of brighten a little bit with this. That's probably way too much concealer, but that's what came out of the packet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this all in now. So already, I don't know that I love this concealer. It's definitely not really meshing real well with the foundation. It's kind of like breaking up the foundation on my chin a little bit. Let's see what it looks like here on the side of my nose and under my eyes. Just kind of tapping this in. And hopefully this will be okay. Okay, so I'm starting to look a little cakey. Not really living for this. I might just go over my face with like a damp sponge and try to like uncakeify a little bit. Because I have not even used powder yet, but I don't think I like that concealer. The foundation is okay if you like matte or satin or something like that. For me, it's not my preference, which is great because it's YSL and I'm sure they're very expensive. And I'm not into this concealer. I just think it definitely looks really cakey. And I did use a lot, so that could be my fault, but I'm not the lightest handed person that ever lived, and I don't typically feel this cakey. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over my face with a damp sponge, and we're gonna move on to the next product. Next to contour, I'm gonna grab the medium tan shade of that concealer. I mean, I'm like, here we go, more cake, but I think this will provide a nice, like, kind of cream contoury bronzer type shade on my skin. So we are gonna give this a little try. We'll try a little bit on my forehead. Let's go back over with our foundation brush and just try to blend this. I don't think that's too bad. I think we're doing all right. Okay. And I'm gonna go back over that with our little sponge to just try to melt this all into my skin and remove any excess. Y'all, this is going way better than I thought it was gonna go. I was afraid of this video for the longest time, and I finally was like in the mood today to do this, and I was like, I'm gonna try it. All right, y'all, we are cooking with fire today. Okay. Now for blush, basically all I have are some lip products from MAC, Laura Mercier, and then I have this little swatch, which I think I want to try this for my cheeks. Let's try Velvet Teddy. Because there's only like a little bit in there, I think that might be perfect. All right, so let's grab a little bit of Velvet Teddy and pray that this is not a disaster. Oh boy. Your girl has never used lipstick on my cheeks, but that's not too bad. If you're in a pinch, yeah, girl, get in there with the lipstick. Okay. That is not too bad. Okay. Oh, lower lash mascara. I'm going back in with my Perversion mascara for my lower lashes. So for our lips, let's go into this little MAC packet for the shade Dough. It's pretty nude. Let's see what this shade is all about. Yo, I think that's such a pretty shade. That is Dough from MAC. And I think this look is complete. Let's go ahead and set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Got this as a free gift with purchase as well. Y'all, I really, really like this look. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed that I feel like this is one of the better looks I've created like in a hot minute. Like I really like this in here. It was just like matter of circumstance of what I actually had in my little pile of free samples. I really, really like this. I think it's really pretty. So definitely don't throw out those free samples because you can get a full face of makeup out of these Jones. So that was super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to reach for your little samples. And I can help you discover some new fantastic products you may not have considered, like these caviar sticks from Laura Mercier or this lipstick from MAC. I really think this color's pretty, and using this shade from the bronze palette makes me think I might eye that bronze palette a little bit more than I had been. I kind of like wrote it off because I have sunrise, sunset, and gold. I'm like, I've got bronzy gold shades in there, but this is really beautiful. I'm just kind of shook. Like I really like the combination today. Even being able to use that concealer as contour or bronzer, like I think that worked really well. It's something to consider. So yeah, I'm really happy with this look. I'm happy with how everything went, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Thank you for being here with me today. I love you all so much, and until the next video, bye.